Yours Peels, and this is another episode of 3D Printing News Unpeeled, live with me, Yours Peels. Okay, so today, what do we have for you? Well, the first thing is something that I'm actually quite excited about. And this is news from Formify, which is a Toronto, Canada-based startup that is hoping to customize your mice. So the idea is, well, first off, we use a computer mice, we use keyboards, these kind of things every single day, and I think I'm really surprised it took this long for somebody to come up with a startup that customizes these things. And I want to see more of it. I want to see more of the day-to-day items we use every single day, headphones and glasses, stuff like that, customized. Because if these things fit our body better, they could be more comfortable. They could resist carpal tunnel syndrome, maybe, or they could make you work faster or become less tired. And it's a really way for us to showcase the ability of 3D printing to make custom shapes in a completely new way. So I think this is really wonderful, and I'm really enthused by this on the whole. So the mice are kind of pricey, I guess, $142 to $179. They're made on HP multi-jet fusion equipment, and they have so it seems to be some high-end equipment on board, including a 26,000 dpi optical sensor, which sounds good. I have no idea what this means. I don't know much about computer mice. There's a rechargeable battery that's good for about 2 weeks of use. They're doing a Kickstarter at the moment to raise the money for this. So far, they've raised in the first few days $10K in pre-orders. So the mice in pre-order, by the way, are much cheaper, like around $79, and they're looking to raise 30,000 in total. So this is, I think, really good news. I think it's a wonderful thing. The one thing that I think is very notable about this is that the real big issue normally with these mass customized projects is in trying to get the geometry right? So what the team says is that you don't have to 3D scan. You don't have to get an app to 3D scan, which, it does work, but hey, there's a little effort. The only thing I need is a picture of your hand with the palm out stretched, and that would be enough of them to calculate and determine the 3D file. No, I don't, and then use the magic of machine learning to do this. Now, I want this to be true. I'm not sure if it's true. I think you need some other stuff, but some reference size stuff. Or, I don't know if you were holding a Coke can as well. I kind of understand it, but generally, I think if this would in the future be true, or if this is true right now, that could be a really exciting approach. That means you could customize pretty much anything. Think a steering wheel or gear shifting knob, a golf club, to your hand by just taking pictures. So that would be very exciting if that were true, and if people were looking on solutions that would make this customization thing as quickly as taking a picture. And that, I think, would really open it up to more consumers and more people trying it. So I think it's a wonderful initiative, this. The next thing is also wonderful. It's a very different thing. And it's one of these things where it's so obvious you didn't maybe think about it. And this is a bioprinting project with plants this time. So a lot of people have been so excited about bioprinting hearts and human tissue and all that. The actual opportunity at the moment is in, of course, drug discovery and aiding that process, and 3D printing kind of lab on chip kind of, or kind of like, pseudo skin or pseudo heart or other tissue models, right? Now, there's another opportunity in 3D printing for animals, of course, another opportunity in 3D printing for meat, but then there's yet another one. This is 3D printing plants to study plants. So what they're doing is they're looking at cell viability, cell division, and cell identity in plants, right? And they've developed an image analysis tool that in combination with 3D printing checks the whole cycle of the cell in a 3D type of environment, and this offers them advantages as compared to what is being done now. This is research by Lisa van den Broek and Michael Schwartz and Sri Kumar Krishnamurti. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And it's a paper published in Science. It's called Establishing a Reproducible Approach to Study Cellular Functions of Plant Cells with 3D Bioprinting. I think it's fantastic. I think there's a lot of potential there. The cell, we need better plants that use less water and that are heat resistant, and anything that can help us study plants and study the changes in plants and how they express their genomes and stuff like that could be really, really very exciting. So love this research. And it's one of these things where you're like, oh yeah, wait, nobody did this before? This is great. I think the research comes from, I think it was the University of North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But check out the papers in Science. And the next thing is a patent, and it's a very curious patent. And I would not have, and I read these things because you don't have to, so you don't have to. This is a patent by Align, and if it was any other company, I think I would have just offhand dismissed it as being something silly. But Align, the company behind the Invisalign, is one of the, if not the largest user of 3D printing in the world, depending on how you count it. It's a $3.7 billion revenue company, and almost all that revenue comes from 3D printing. So the Invisalign aligners are made based on a scan, and that scan is then sent to, well, actually, they're sent to Costa Rica, I think, and then they manually adjust some things, determine the new mold piece, and then they 3D print using SLA some mold pieces. Then those positives are thermoformed, and that silicone thing gets sent to the patient, and the patient at home is allowed to put those aligners in their mouths to correct their teeth. A couple of weeks later, they get a new one. It's absolutely breakthrough 3D printing application. Absolutely fantastic. And it's an indirect one, right? So not directly 3D printed parts. So not the things people think about. And it's ridiculously disruptive thing for the dental market, for the just generally braces. So they've completely changed the way that people use braces. And it's one of the biggest 3D printing applications in the world. Hundreds of thousands of 3D prints per day are used for Invisalign, and hundreds of thousands are used per day for Invisalign competitors. So that's why I take these guys very seriously, because, well, they've done just crazy disruptive stuff before. And a lot of patents out there are just exploratory things, or just they want to kind of like lock something down. And this could be a little bit more than this. Now, what are we looking at here? I'll show you some more pictures, give you a little bit of a better idea. Now, what you can see here is a little rig for an iPhone, and you can see in the middle of the phone. And here you see a clamp, and this is going to probably make you laugh. And then there's a clamp, and there's a clamp for your iPhone. And so what this essentially is, and here's another vision of the clamp, right? What this essentially is a patent. It's patent number US 202-300-928-04A1. And it's a cheek retractor and mobile device holder. Maybe you've had those ones, and if you're in the dentist, they put these retractors in your teeth to keep your mouth open. Maybe, like for some of my dentists last, put one of those in my mouth and then took a picture of my teeth to kind of like, talk me through what he was going to be doing. And these are these retractors, and they use in this way. Now, this patent is for a customized retractor that may be made using 3D printing. And this retractor then would hold your iPhone in front of you. So what they're trying to do is quite brilliant. And the idea is that you customize a retractor, you print it, you give it to the patient. It will be just the right size for you to put it in. It'll balance your phone in exactly the right direction. And then essentially you can do a scan, maybe a 3D scan, right? Maybe using the phones of today, or maybe just a picture that'll help them analyze your teeth. Now, think about what you can do with this. You could maybe have a better in-home scanning thing to make better Invisalign, like an Invisalign 4D, better generation kind of thing, to better manage progress, right? Where you don't get an Invisalign every couple of weeks, but you get it every day or whatever, right? So higher resolution or smaller step Invisalign. That's one thing that's very obvious. And without going to a dental office, without requiring a really expensive scanner, this would then somehow replace it, kind of like what the guys are saying with the 3D printed mice, right? That's one thing. But imagine also that this is a teeth whitening treatment, that you can do it at home, and it exactly measures how teeth whitening. Or imagine it looks at how much fluoride your teeth are, or the general condition of your teeth to determine best mouthwashes, something like that. There's just a way for you to get a personalized medical device at home that allows you to repeatedly take a scan of your teeth and send that information to a company to work with. I think this is absolutely fantastic. And again, it's crazy, right? I mean, this is a $3 billion corporation that wants to give you a 3D printed thing in your mouth that is going to put your phone inches away from your face and then take a picture of your own phone or your own teeth at your own home, right? It's a bit crazy. But again, these guys have taken crazy. Imagine if I would have taken you before you knew about Invisalign, you're going to put a plastic silicone mold in your face, and that's going to replace braces. That's a completely insane idea. Most of the people would have laughed you out of the room if you would have told them this. So, given that it's coming from Invisalign, it may actually result in some breakthrough thinking and breakthrough applications. So that's why I wanted to bring that to your attention. Anyway, so I hope that you enjoyed this or found this useful. My name is Joris Peels. This is done thanks to 3dprint.com, and I hope you really, really enjoy it. Have a